What I'm about to show you may completely change the way you think about aging skin after 60. And when I reveal the one breakfast grain that quietly helps dry, fragile, wrinkled skin look calmer, softer, and more alive, you may never look at expensive anti-aging creams the same way again. Because right now, thousands of older Americans are spending a fortune on jars, serums, masks, and treatments, while ignoring the one thing that can influence their skin from the inside every single morning. Please subscribe now so you never miss simple doctor-backed tips that help you protect your skin, health, confidence, and independence. Let me tell you about Carol first, because her story explains why this matters so much. Carol was 72, living in Sarasota, Florida, and she was doing what so many seniors do. She had a drawer full of anti-wrinkle creams, eye gels, neck-firming lotions, and collagen powders she barely remembered to use. Every week she was buying something new, but her skin kept looking drier, thinner, and more tired. Fine lines around her mouth seemed deeper. Her cheeks looked dull. And what scared her most was how quickly it all seemed to happen in just 1 year. Now here's the part almost nobody explains clearly. Your skin is not just aging from the outside, it's aging from the inside too. And after 60, that process speeds up when your body is constantly dealing with blood sugar spikes, inflammation, dehydration, and poor nutrient delivery. That's why some people can use the same cream every night and still look worn out by morning. The skin isn't getting what it needs internally. And when the wrong breakfast is pushing sugar up fast every day, you may actually be feeding the very process that makes collagen stiffer and wrinkles more obvious. The grain I want to talk about is oats. Plain oats, real oats. Not dessert disguised as breakfast. Not those sugary packets with maple syrup flavoring, brown sugar crystals, and candy-like dried pieces. I'm talking about old-fashioned oats, or steel-cut oats, prepared the right way. And I know what some people are thinking already. Oats? That's it? That's the big secret? Yes, and I'm going to show you why. Because oats work on several different skin aging pathways at once. And that's exactly why some seniors notice visible changes in as little as a week. But before I explain what oats do, I need you to understand something critical. I am not telling you that one bowl of oatmeal will erase 20 years of wrinkles. That's nonsense. What I am telling you is this. When older adults replace a skin-aging breakfast with a skin-supportive one, the face often responds fast. Puffiness can ease, dryness can improve, redness can calm down. That drawn, tired look can soften. The skin can start holding moisture better. And if your old breakfast was hurting you, the improvement can feel surprisingly quick because you finally stopped hitting your skin with the same daily assault. Let me tell you about Frank in Columbus, Ohio. Frank was 69, retired, practical, the kind of man who rolled his eyes at anything that sounded like beauty advice. But his wife kept telling him his skin looked rough, especially around his forehead and under his eyes. He thought it was just age. Maybe it was winter. Maybe it was poor sleep. But every morning, Frank was eating a giant bowl of sweetened corn cereal and drinking orange juice. That breakfast sent his blood sugar up fast, and by late morning, he was hungry again, dry again, and reaching for more sugar. When Frank switched to a plain oat breakfast with cinnamon, blueberries, and walnuts, something changed. Not overnight, not magically, but within several days, he noticed he wasn't getting that mid-morning crash. His face looked less puffy around the eyes. His wife said his skin didn't look as gray. By the end of the first week, he said he looked more rested, even though he wasn't sleeping any longer. That's the kind of shift I want you to understand. Because sometimes the first visible improvement in aging skin isn't a disappearing wrinkle. It's the return of life to the face. So why do oats help? First, they're rich in soluble fiber, especially something called beta-glucan. Beta-glucan matters because it slows how quickly food leaves your stomach and how fast sugar hits your bloodstream. That matters for skin more than most people realize. When sugar rises too quickly, your body is pushed toward a process that damages proteins, including collagen and elastin. Over time, that means stiffer, less flexible skin. Skin that creases more easily, skin that doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Oats help calm that process down, especially when they replace a refined, sugary breakfast. And this is where many seniors miss the connection. They think wrinkles are only about age, sunlight, and genetics. Those things matter, yes. But food matters too. Every day your skin is either being supported or stressed by what you eat. A breakfast built around refined flour, added sugar, and processed oils pushes the body toward more inflammation and more glycation. Oats do the opposite when they're prepared simply. They steady the morning. They reduce the roller coaster. They help create a calmer internal environment. And calmer systems often show up as calmer skin, especially in the face. There's another reason oats stand out, and it's one most people have never heard of. Oats contain special antioxidant compounds called avenanthramides. These are unique to oats, and they've been studied for their anti-inflammatory and soothing effects. In plain English, that means oats don't just fill you up. They also bring compounds that help your body handle stress and irritation more intelligently. For skin after 60, that matters because older skin is thinner, drier, and more reactive. It flares more easily. It gets red more easily. It loses softness faster. And when inflammation stays high, the face often looks older than it needs to. Now let me connect this to something visible. Have you ever noticed that some mornings your skin looks tight, crepey, and tired, and other mornings it looks calmer, smoother, almost friendlier? That's not your imagination. Skin responds to hydration, circulation, inflammation, sleep quality, salt balance, and blood sugar. Oats help several of those at once. They hold water in the digestive tract, slow digestion, and support a steadier release of energy. That means fewer spikes and crashes, fewer panic cravings, and often less of that worn-out morning look. The face can look less stressed, and less stressed often reads as younger. Let me tell you about Beverly in Des Moines, Iowa, because her story reveals another piece of this. Beverly was 74 and had what she called paper skin. Her arms bruised easily. Her cheeks felt dry even after moisturizer. She kept buying richer creams, but nothing lasted. She also had a habit that sounded harmless. Every morning she ate 2 toaster pastries and coffee. That was it. No fiber, almost no protein, lots of sugar, and nothing that actually supported the skin barrier. When she switched to oats with chia seeds and plain Greek yogurt, her skin didn't become 30 again. But it stopped looking so depleted. That word depleted is important because after 60, a lot of skin doesn't just look old. It looks underfed, underhydrated, and overinflamed. Oats help because they're not an isolated miracle compound. They're part of a whole body correction. They provide fiber. Whole oats also bring minerals like zinc, copper, magnesium, and a little vitamin E, depending on preparation and what you pair them with. Those nutrients matter for tissue maintenance, barrier function, and cellular repair. They don't act like a cosmetic filter. They act like support. And for aging skin, support often beats hype every single time. But here's where this gets even more interesting. Oats can help your skin in 2 different ways. First, by eating them. Second, by using oat-based skin support externally if your skin is dry or irritated. That's why so many dermatologists like colloidal oatmeal. It's soothing, moisture supportive, and gentle on irritated skin. Now, today I'm focusing mainly on the grain as a food, but I want you to see the bigger picture. When the same humble grain is respected in both nutrition and skincare, that should tell you something. It means this isn't a fad. It's a signal. Now stay with me, because I haven't even told you the biggest mistake yet. And this is the mistake that turns a skin-supportive grain into a wrinkle-promoting breakfast. It's so common that millions of Americans over 60 are doing it right now without realizing it. They think they're eating healthy oatmeal, but they're really eating a sugar bomb in a beige costume. And if that's what you're doing, you may be accelerating the very facial aging you're trying to slow down. I'm going to tell you exactly what that mistake is. But first, you need to understand what happens during the first 7 days. Day 1 is not about wrinkles disappearing. Day 1 is about removing friction from the system. When you replace a high-sugar breakfast with plain oats, you often feel fuller, longer, and calmer through the morning. That matters because every big sugar spike pulls your body into a stress response. Your insulin rises, your cravings rise, your energy gets unstable. And unstable energy often shows up on the face as dullness, puffiness, or strain. So on day 1, what changes first is often not the mirror. It's the internal chaos. And when internal chaos drops, the skin gets a better chance. By day 2 or 3, many people notice something else. They're not constantly hunting for a snack. That doesn't sound like a skin issue, but it is. Why? Because the snacks people reach for when blood sugar crashes are usually sweet, salty, processed foods that increase water retention, inflammation, and glycation. Oats break that pattern. They slow the morning and keep you from sliding into the kind of snacking that leaves the face looking swollen by afternoon. The eyes may look less tired. The cheeks may look less puffy. And your skin may simply start looking less aggravated. By day 3 or 4, digestion often improves, and that matters more than most people think. If your bowels are sluggish, your abdomen is bloated, and your meals are poorly balanced, you often feel heavier and look heavier in the face, too. Oats, especially with enough water, help move things along more consistently. That can reduce that stuffed, inflamed look that makes the skin seem older. No, oats are not a laxative miracle, but for many older adults, they create better rhythm. And better rhythm in the body often leads to a cleaner, brighter appearance in the face, especially around the eyes. By day 5, some people notice their skin feels less tight. That's a big one. Tightness is often interpreted as firmness, but dry tightness is not youthful skin. Dry tightness is irritated skin. And when you pair oats with berries, nuts, yogurt, or seeds, you're building a breakfast that brings fiber, fluid, antioxidants, and healthy fats together. That combination supports hydration and reduces the repeated stress of sugar crashes. The skin may not be wrinkle-free. That's not realistic. But it can feel more comfortable. And skin that feels more comfortable often looks more relaxed, and relaxed looks younger. By day 6 or 7, this is when many seniors say, "I don't know what changed, but my face looks better." That statement matters because it's usually not just one line or one crease. It's the whole expression. The skin tone may look more even, morning puffiness may ease, dry patches may calm down, makeup may sit better. Men may notice shaving is less irritating. Women may notice the skin doesn't look as thirsty by late afternoon. These are subtle but real changes. And when they happen together, the mirror starts sending a very different message back to you. Let me tell you about Gloria in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Gloria was 78 and absolutely convinced the problem was her moisturizer. She changed brands 4 times in 6 months. Nothing worked. Her face looked dry by noon, especially around the mouth and chin. When we talked through her routine, I found the real problem. Every morning she was eating flavored instant oatmeal with extra honey because she thought more sweetness would help her energy. There it was. She was taking a food that could have helped her and turning it into dessert. Her breakfast wasn't calming her system. It was provoking it. That brings us to the biggest mistake of all. The number one mistake is eating sweetened instant oatmeal and believing it works the same as plain oats. It does not, and this difference is enormous. Those flavored packets are often chopped up, heavily processed, and loaded with sugar or sweet flavorings. That means faster absorption, higher glycemic impact, and much less of the steadying effect you want. Some are so sweet they behave more like pastry than breakfast. So instead of helping collagen aging pathways, they may intensify them. And instead of reducing puffiness and dryness, they may keep the cycle going. I've seen people sabotage oats in 3 other ways too. 1, they drown them in brown sugar, syrup, or sweetened dried fruit. 2, they eat a tiny serving and then add toast, jam, and juice on the side, which defeats the whole point. 3, they eat oats alone with no protein or healthy fat, then wonder why they're hungry an hour later. You want the oats to become a stable meal, not a soft carbohydrate snack. That means balance. Pair them with blueberries, walnuts, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, cinnamon, or plain Greek yogurt. That's when the breakfast becomes useful. Now let me make something very clear. Steel-cut oats are generally the better choice if you want the slowest, steadiest effect. Old-fashioned rolled oats are also very good. Plain quick oats can work if they're unsweetened and you prepare them wisely. But the more processed and sugary they become, the less they behave like the grain we're talking about today. So if you want the benefits, start with plain oats and build from there. Do not start with candy-coated packets and expect rejuvenation. That's not skin support. That's marketing. And your face can tell the difference. There's another hidden reason oats help seniors after 60. They make it easier to stay consistent. And consistency is what changes skin, not intensity, not exotic ingredients, not one expensive weekend facial. Skin responds to patterns. Eat a rough breakfast every morning, and the face often reflects that pattern. Eat a calmer, more supportive breakfast every morning, and the face often reflects that too. Oats are inexpensive, accessible, easy to chew, easy to digest for many people, and simple to repeat. That repetition is powerful. Because when a healthy habit becomes automatic, the body finally gets enough time to respond. Now, I want to talk about collagen for a moment because this is where people get confused. Everyone wants collagen. Everyone wants firmness. But collagen is not just built by powders and advertised peptides. It is also protected by reducing the things that damage it. High sugar, chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, poor sleep, smoking, dehydration, and excessive sun all attack the skin matrix. Oats help mainly by reducing one daily source of damage, especially in the morning. They lower the breakfast burden. They create less chaos. And sometimes protecting collagen matters just as much as trying to build it, especially after 60. Let me give you the exact oat formula I recommend most often for older adults who want better skin support. Start with plain steel-cut or old-fashioned oats. Cook them in water or unsweetened milk. Add cinnamon. Add a handful of blueberries or strawberries. Add 1 tablespoon of walnuts, chia seeds, or ground flax. If you need more staying power, add plain Greek yogurt on the side or stir in a little unsweetened protein source that works for you. That meal is simple, American, affordable, and effective. It supports blood sugar control, satiety, and nutrient density. And your skin benefits from all 3. If your skin is very dry or reactive, there's also a simple external support step. Some seniors do well with a gentle colloidal oatmeal product after bathing or washing the face. I'm not saying smear breakfast on your cheeks and hope for magic. I'm saying oats are respected for soothing the skin barrier too. So if you're dealing with redness, itchiness, or winter dryness, pairing an oat-based breakfast with gentle oat-based skincare can be a smart strategy. You're helping from the inside and outside at the same time. And older skin often responds well to that kind of consistency. Let me tell you about Harold in Phoenix, Arizona. Harold was 81 and had one complaint that sounded small but wasn't. He said his face looked defeated by 10 a.m., not wrinkled exactly, defeated. That's a powerful word. He would wake up, wash up, have sweet toast and jam, and by mid-morning he looked tired, puffy, and dry around the eyes. When he switched to plain oats with cinnamon and chopped pecans, he didn't just feel fuller. He started holding a steadier expression. He looked less dragged down. And that's often the first anti-aging win people notice. Now I need to say something honest. If your wrinkles are coming mainly from years of sun exposure, smoking, major weight loss, or long-standing collagen loss, oats alone won't reverse that in 7 days. No responsible doctor should promise that. But if your face also looks older because of inflammation, dehydration, blood sugar swings, or poor breakfast habits, then yes, you may notice real visible improvement quickly when that pattern changes. The difference can be enough for people to say, what did you do to your skin? Not because you found a miracle, because you stopped making things worse every morning. And this connects to a bigger truth about skin after 60. The face tells the story of the whole body. When the gut is irritated, the face often shows it. When sleep is poor, the face shows it. When blood sugar is unstable, the face shows it. When your food is supporting you instead of provoking you, the face often softens. That's why the best anti-aging strategies are usually not the flashiest ones. They're the ones that reduce daily injury. Oats fit into that category beautifully. They're not glamorous. They're useful. And usefulness is what produces lasting results. There's one more mistake I need to warn you about because I see it constantly. People make oats healthy, then ruin them with portions that are too big. A giant bowl plus bananas, raisins, honey, maple syrup, granola, and almond butter can become a calorie and sugar overload fast. More is not better. You want enough to satisfy you, not enough to flatten you. For many seniors, a moderate bowl is plenty. Listen to your body. Stay balanced. This is not a challenge meal. It's a repair meal. And repair works best when the body isn't overwhelmed. I also want to speak directly to anyone with diabetes or prediabetes. Oats can be helpful, but they still contain carbohydrates, so portion and pairing matter. This is why adding protein, seeds, or nuts makes such a difference. It slows things further and keeps the meal from acting too fast. If you monitor blood sugar, pay attention to your response. Your body gives data, respect it. And if you have digestive issues, choose the style of oat that feels best for you. Plain and simple usually works better than heavily flavored. And customized beats trendy every single time. Now think about what most anti-aging products promise. Firmer skin, better texture, smoother appearance, more glow, less dryness. Oats can support several of those same goals indirectly by improving the environment your skin lives in every day. They don't inject filler. They don't peel the face. They don't freeze muscles. What they do is much quieter. They reduce sugar turbulence. They help satiety. They support digestive rhythm. They bring useful fiber and protective compounds. That quieter support often creates the exact kind of visible freshness people are chasing. And it does it without turning breakfast into chemistry. If what you're hearing is opening your eyes, then do 2 things for me. First, stay with this channel because I want to keep giving you practical health information that protects your quality of life, not just your appearance. Second, share this video with one person over 60 who keeps buying anti-aging products, but hasn't looked at breakfast in years. That conversation alone could help them more than another expensive cream. The skin reflects daily decisions, and when one small decision gets better, many other things often improve with it. So let me give you the 7-day reset as simply as I can. For 1 week, replace your usual sugary breakfast with plain oats. Keep them unsweetened. Add cinnamon, berries, and either walnuts, flax, chia, or a protein source. Drink enough water. Don't pile on juice, pastries, or sweet coffee drinks beside it. Take a good look at your face each morning in the same light. Watch for puffiness, dryness, redness, comfort, and overall brightness. Those are the signs that usually shift first. And they tell you whether your skin is finally getting a calmer start. If you do that for 7 days, I think one of two things will happen. Either you'll see no meaningful difference, which is useful information, or you'll start noticing exactly what so many people notice. Your face looks less inflamed, your skin feels less thirsty, and that tired, overworked look starts to ease. And if that happens, you'll understand something powerful. Anti-aging doesn't always begin in the medicine cabinet. Sometimes it begins in the breakfast bowl. Something humble, something simple, something you can do tomorrow morning. And that kind of power should never be underestimated. Let me leave you with Dorothy from Nashville, Tennessee. Dorothy was 76 and said something I'll never forget. After a week of changing her breakfast, she looked in the mirror and said, "I don't look younger exactly. I look more like myself." That's the goal, not to chase a face from 1985, not to erase every line that proves you've lived. The goal is to look healthier, calmer, clearer, and more alive in the face you have now. Oats can support that, not with hype, with biology. And biology always beats marketing in the long run. So yes, over 60, this grain may be one of the smartest foods you can bring back into your life if your skin has started looking dry, dull, creased, or older than it feels. The grain is oats. Plain, simple, properly prepared oats. Not sugary packets, not fake health food. Real oats used consistently. Give them 7 honest days and watch what your face tells you, because your skin is listening to your breakfast, whether you realize it or not. Now you know. And once you know, you can finally use that knowledge in your favor. Take good care of yourself, keep things simple, and I'll see you in the next video.